going to talk about digestive health. Obviously, this is a way to get you involved and interested, right? No snacking right now, though. And we're actually going to be talking a little bit about gardening, too. I know that that doesn't sound like a related topic, but we're really going to get the scoop on poop. And please remember that, because that is your secret password for the participation survey. That will let me know whether you participated or not, or watched the YouTube video link or not. So first we're going to go over the lovely display in front of me. Next we're going to talk about a couple of hot topic areas, including colon transit time, if you've ever heard of that, and gut flora or microbiome, or the healthy and bad bacteria in your gut. Gut health is a newer trend in terms of information, and I want to make sure that you guys have the most accurate information on that. And then finally, we'll discuss some things that you all can do to start pooping like champs, because that's just really our goal here at CPC. So a little disclaimer.
For that.
Just a little disclaimer, as a health coach, I'm not able to help you diagnose exactly what's going on. You know, there's a lot of different things that can come into play when it comes to digestive health, but I'm going to give you the most accurate information on things that you can start doing to become more regular and to have a healthier gut. And then anything above and beyond that, we would probably refer you to a health professional if you were concerned. So everybody is probably dying to know what's normal and what's not. Well, on the Bristol stool chart, which is going to be on the handout that you get at the very end, it gives you a nice little picture and a description, very nice lengthy description on what is normal and what is not. So can anybody tell me, out of all of these options, where they think the gold standard poo is?
Well, I know because of what's
Then
posted in the
can't
bathroom.
answer.
Oh, okay.
Oh, did anybody else see that? Posted in the bathroom yet?
Although
No,
I don't see it on,
sure.
I don't see it
I
on the
didn't sit
table.
long enough to look at it.
Okay. Well, how about from these
like
options, what do you think is the gold standard?
What do you think
That
would
one
be?
on
Right
that
there?
schmeary plate.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, that one there?
This one? Getting closer.
That one in
The
that
solid
corner?
can.
This is our 1 to 3 times per week that we're aiming for, right?
The
So there's kind of a range here.
I think
The
it's
first
Milky Way.
couple, these are going to be drier and hard to pass, and they've spent a lot longer in the colon than what they should have. So these are considered more of a constipated state. And then these two are considered more of a diarrheal state, if you will. So we're really looking for something between here and here, with this being our gold standard.
The marshmallows are
confused
gold
by the
standard?
marshmallows.
Yeah, apparently as
That's
long as
soft.
it's squishy and it's easier to pass and you're not straining or spending a lot of time on the toilet, you should be okay. So, so take a mental note really quickly of what your daily habits are, and if it's not something that you paid attention to before, I do encourage you to pay attention to it, and I'm going to get into that right now moving forward. So what is our poo exactly telling us? Well, it does tell us a couple neat things, and one of them is colon transit time. Why does it matter, and why should we care how long this is staying in our body? Well, can anybody tell me what poop really is? Why do you poop, and what is it?
It's gross.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually a combination of some of the undigestible fiber that goes through our body, toxins from our food and just from the environment, and also some of the gut bacteria that we have in our gut. That all comes out. So it's a combination of those things. The one thing that I want to highlight about that is the toxins. So you would want the toxins out of your body as quickly as possible and as regularly as possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good thing for your body. So if this is sitting in your colon for long periods of time, there is a chance that your body is going to reabsorb the toxins, because the colon is very permeable. Water permeates the colon, different bacteria permeate the colon. So we really want to be regular in getting those toxins out of our body. And really, your regular can be anything from 3 bowel movements a day to 3 a week. So that is kind of a very large, range, I guess, if you will, that you can fall. But it's really going to depend on a number of different factors, including your gut health, your diet, your age, your daily activity, and whether you do have a healthy gut. So in terms of gut health, I know another big thing that people are into is probiotics and gut flora and gut health, and what does this all mean? Well, why does it matter, and why should we care, and how does this help give us a window into what's really going on in our gut? Well, you actually have an internal garden, and you do want to be gardening on a daily basis. And the one thing that I'm going to remind you throughout the rest of this is you want to eat from the garden to feed your internal garden, right? Fiber is the #1 food source for those healthy bacteria in our gut. You have about 300 to 500 different strains that populate your gut. They help to digest your food. There's good guys and bad guys, and when they're out of balance, the constipation and or the diarrhea can occur. And everybody's profile is really different. And again, if you're not having normal bowel movements, it's likely a sign of an unhealthy gut. So there's mounting research that actually ties gut flora and gut health to other areas of health, including immune function, cardiovascular health, including correlations to cholesterol levels, mental health, including the risk of being a depressed person or suffering from depression, cancer risk, and then also a very interesting topic is actually metabolic health. So when there's a gut imbalance, the probability of obesity, diabetes, metabolic syndrome, and even influence on weight loss, may be something that people are dealing with, and that's not something that we're used to talking about or really looking into. So I can guarantee in the next at least 3 to 5 years, we're going to have a lot more research on that and what that really means for us. Actually, your gut health can affect how many calories you absorb from your food, and also the amount of nutrients that you absorb from your food as well. So just things to keep in mind. Slow transit time and having an unhealthy balance of gut bacteria comes from our standard American diet, our SAD diet, eating a diet high in fatty foods and fatty animal products and low in fiber. So those are two of the things to keep in mind, is that when I say eat from the garden to feed your garden, I really mean it, because you're not giving your gut bacteria the food that they need to survive. And a lot of those fatty foods can contribute to not so pleasant bowel movements as well. I'm sure you're all wondering about the smell, so I suppose we should cover that. So poop smells because of the toxins it's helping to draw out of the body, as well as the bacteria in the gut lining passing through. There's no normal smell, but one of the red flags is that if it's not your normal, if you're not experiencing your normal for several days or more in a row, there could be something more serious going on. And what about consistency? Again, if it's too dry or if it's too watery and you're not falling within the healthy poop range, there's probably something going on with your digestive tract. So diarrhea, the one thing to note about that is you need to be very careful with that, because you can become dehydrated with diarrhea. If you're experiencing it 1 to 3 times per day for more than 3 days in a row, you really need to go and seek medical attention at that point. What about the color? Well, I couldn't make these any other color, so I guess we get 2, like a green, or a yellow and a brown, but anything black, green, gray, yellow, or red can be a sign that something is wrong. A lot of the foods that we eat will influence the color, but aside from that, if you do have a black stool, persistent black stool, that can mean internal bleeding. My mom actually had that happen, and she was okay with me sharing that, but it is something to keep in mind, because she noted it, but she didn't take action, and that's something that people usually don't think of. And then certain food colorings and things like that can influence the color as well. The one thing to keep in mind as well is there are certain food types that can make people have sort of a different digestive response than what they're going for, and it's not uncommon for people to have food allergies, whether it's to wheat or to dairy or to grains. So again, if you're in a situation where things are not normal for you, that's when you go talk to your doctor, and they're going to have you go through a few different, tests and things, and then also they might encourage a food allergy or food sensitivity test at that point. So how do you poop like a champ? You lead a healthy lifestyle. Everything that us health coaches try to hit home every single day is exactly what you should be doing to be more regular and to make sure you're getting the toxins out of your body. So again, keeping your body and your colon hydrated. Like I said, there's water permeation in the colon, and that helps pass things more regularly. You try to drink, again, 8 ounces of water at least 8 times a day. And remember that if you are going to work on increasing your fiber without drinking more water, you're going to have more bathroom problems. So if you're actively working on eating more fiber to help with this and to feed your gut flora, you're also going to have to be drinking more water. If you're struggling, you need more fiber. You can't run away from the vegetables and the fruits. You absolutely cannot. Again, the gut flora thrive off of the fiber from these different food groups. So we want to aim for 25 to 40 grams per day. You really want to be in the neighborhood of 40 or more. And again, fruits, veggies, whole grains, those plant-based foods that we like to talk about eating all the time. Aside from that, another big hot topic is the probiotics and the probiotic foods. You can eat probiotic foods, and those would be foods that have undergone some sort of fermentation process. Sauerkraut is an example of a fermented food. You could do organic yogurt or kefir. I don't know if any of you have heard of kefir, but you can add that to your smoothies. Kombucha Has anybody ever tried kombucha or kimchi before? Kombucha is a drink that's got live strains in it. It's very vinegary tasting because of the fermentation. And then there's organic temp and organic pickles. So some of those like more sour, vinegary tasting foods that maybe not be the most pleasant to eat, but they're gonna definitely get more probiotics into you. And then obviously there's lots of supplements out there now. One thing that I have to recommend is that you try to get most of your probiotics from the foods that you eat. But if you feel like supplementing, there's different options for you. I suggest looking for something with a lot of different strains of bacteria in it because we're all different. And depending on what strains we're lacking in or need more of, that would help fill those gaps. But you absolutely cannot take a supplement and not be doing those other lifestyle behaviors and think that you're going to be okay. A pill is not a band-aid for the actual problem, which is not getting the nutrition that you need to in your body. So again, it's a supplement. It supplements a healthy lifestyle. If you have questions about probiotics and stuff like that, you can definitely come and see me. Otherwise, we're going to give away, through a drawing, a gift certificate to the flea market in Appleton. And the folks that own that store, it's a co-op, so they will be able to guide you there as well. Aside from that, moderate your stress, moderate your alcohol, moderate your caffeine, and then get your exercise in. And actually with exercise, the important thing to note is not only are you sweating away the calories and the body fat, but you're getting a lot of circulation to your essential organs. You're moving your lymph fluid. You're getting your colon to contract and do other things while you're exercising. And on top of that, exercise has actually been linked to increasing some of the good bacteria in your gut. I'm not quite sure the mechanism of that, but it was on WebMD, so there's got to be some research behind that as well. Who wants a snack?
No.
Does anybody have any questions about any of the information that I